What's up, y'all? What it do? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna do something a little different today. Ain't this cute, y'all? I got these cute little line frames. Y'all, Temu's taking all my money. But yeah, I am going to do something a little different today. I'm gonna set y'all up over here by my bed because I just got done watching Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Ooh, I just kind of bit my lip on that. You so weird. You be talking, all of a sudden bite your tongue, your lip. Ugh. But yeah, you guys, part three. So I'm gonna set y'all over here by my little desk, my nightstand over here, because it's raining today, and I don't feel like going up to try to set up the whole light situation over there by the window. And plus, I got this new nightstand lamp, little clip ring light, so I'm gonna give that a go today anyways, because where I get it from, Temu. Okay. So we just gonna do this and see if this works. All right. I'm trying to make sure the light is okay. Hang in there with me, you guys. Hang in there. But y'all know what to do while I fix this. Hit that like button, drop down in the comments, let me know that you stopped by. Yeah, okay, I feel like that's good. Okay, yeah. All right, y'all. Potomac, part 3, the finale reunion of season 8. Like I said, matter of fact, let's just get comfortable. Okay, this gonna be a little bed talk, a little pillow talk about Potomac, because honestly, it's not really even worth the review. We just gotta like hit the main key points of all the fuckery that was going on over at Bravo. Okay, so basically, part 3, the reunion. Let's get into it. We open up with Gordon G. Okay, so y'all know we ended off with him kind of like going into like, oh, Andy, I just wanted to tell you guys, all the things that was going on. And so of course people assumed that he would have been talking about like the kid or whatever, the kid in question. Okay, shout out to Mari. And he just basically revealed that he was struggling with mental health issues. And honestly, when he started talking about it, it's a lot of people out there who deal with stuff like Jennifer Lewis. I remember on the Breakfast Club talked about how she was, diagnosed with BP. And in general, it's a lot of men out there who, y'all know, they up in the head and they ain't getting no help. So like, at least shout out to Gordon on that regards of, him at least acknowledging that he's dealing with something. But also when it comes to that, a lot of times what these dudes like to do is use that as a crutch for treating a woman terrible, And obviously as a woman, you pull the, oh, he just, he was traumatized as a kid, and, he been through so much in his life, and his daddy didn't want him. Y'all know the women come with every excuse to, benign the hurt and trauma that a man will put him through. And so, this was something that Mia said, last episode when Giselle was like, oh, is it about the money or whatever? And I'm sure, yeah, that played a part in it. But she talked about like how, eventually he was just kind of like, and basically that is anger. One of huge things about BP, unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but it's very common, and it touched me when Gordon talked about it because I have my own personal experience with dealing with somebody who, struggles from mental health issues and what it can be like when it goes, unaddressed, not worked through, unmedicated. Like, I am familiar with all of those things. So that's why, when Gordon was speaking, I, resonated. I'll just put it that way. Like, I resonated. But there's a lot of people out there who deal with, family members who have mental health issues. I know I ain't the only one. Or not family members, or just, spouses, partners, kids, whatever. And so it can be daunting, especially being on the receiving end of, those, as he said, manic episodes. And he described that that's what happened when he messaged Wendy and Candice for that bull about Mia. Because Wendy was like, he called you everything but the child of God, girl. And Mia, you have no idea really how much you keep effing up by trying to side over there. Well, I mean, your skin folk is basically what it is. Because it got dark all of a sudden. I feel like that's better. Maybe a little bit. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, Wendy really helped us because she didn't come, you know, to TV and spread out. Shout out to Kerry Washington on Save the Last Dance. I don't care what nobody says. Save the Last Dance is one of the best. I'm gonna call it a black movie because it is a black movie. And I'm just thinking about the part where Kerry Washington was in the club and she was like, I don't know what your problem is, Nikki, because I could have laid all your there. I will never forget that. And that's what I was thinking about Wendy. Wendy and Candice really could have laid all your bare, okay? Shout out to Save the Last Dance. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah. So with Mia, Gordon having a manic episode, he just basically described that, and Mia, Andy asked about what that means for them going forward, because essentially he knew about old dude, what's his name, Ink. Mia, it's given you were kind of commingling with Ink in and out of the relationship, it is what it is. Gordon says they're cordial. And at this moment, me is the one holding them down, and she said that's something that she will do, and I think sometimes, obviously just because you are in a relationship with somebody, she got into the relationship with Gordon because of the money. Okay, shout out Sweet Tea because of the money. She wanted a little access to the money that Gordon had. And he said, he was like, as I started making money, I got power hungry, as most men do. You get the money, you start acting, boastful, acting real different. And that's when the family had to cut him off from the business. And that's what Mia was talking about. You should have dropped the lawsuit because you played a part. And basically he was giving the family was like, you wildin', which is kind of also a symptom of the, mental health issues, like excessive money spending, like grandiosity, like all those things are symptoms. So everybody around Gordon was kind of letting them know, like, you might want to check in. And so although Gordon's like, oh, I got a handle on it, Mia, she had the right to step away, and he understood that about Mia. But as Mia said, like, although I stepped away, I will always basically take care of him. So moving on to the next segment, is this when we get into Nneka? I think it's when we get into Nneka and Wendy. All right, so yeah, Nneka and Wendy. Y'all, just in case if it looks different in post, it's because my little desk light is kind of like going in and out. So if the light looks weird, hopefully I can fix it in editing and make it bright enough there. But nonetheless, we talk about Nneka and Wendy. Like I said, we all heard that Nneka was supposed to be introduced via Wendy, but something happened behind the scenes with Lebe and Wendy's sister, and that honestly was kind of like a domino effect after the whole thing, or prior to the whole thing of like Ashley being messy with that Osu. So we run the film package for Nneka. My dad's a rich bitch and he made me a rich bitch. I mean, I can't be mad at that. But yeah, it came on, and basically her and Wendy kind of played the like, we don't know each other, and then Wendy, on top of like not saying how familiar they or knowing of each other, also pulled the Mariah Carey of, I don't know her. I don't know, like, I don't know her. So that, I think that's kind of another trigger for Nneka, because it's like, girl, you don't know me, but your mama was just over here threatening and calling me, talking about giving me all types of boom shakalakas and girl curse you, and talking all in code and slang and all types of hieroglyphs, talking about, it is, what her mom saying? Her mom was like, it is very hard to make friends and very easy with us to make enemies. Like, we know we can read between the lines, okay? We can read between the lines. And so, nonetheless, this whole Wenda, that's a combination of them both, Wendy and Nneka, Wenda. So this whole Wendy and Nneka situation, honestly, was super pushed by producers, and that's something I definitely picked up on early, because they needed a distraction from the fact that Giselle was not going to sit down with Candice nor Wendy. This whole season We got half-ass, with Robin and Juan, because we know Juan wasn't gonna come on screen and actually talk about the real and Robin, he be tearing her ass up behind the scenes. I can just tell. And Robin is just not emotionally equipped, as she's told him with the, I don't care, bring it on. Y'all know how she's like, I don't care, bring it on. But really on the inside, she's sitting on the corner of the street like she was doing, okay? On the inside, she over there on the damn sidewalk, crying into puddles, okay? All right? So yeah, we all knew as viewers, like, why are we even entertaining Wendy and Nneka? Like, yes, it's giving. Nneka mentioned, like, oh, I know Wendy, and said it as a means of, like, some type of connection. And Wendy was like, I don't know you like that, though. And so when Nneka came on, I definitely do think when that whole Lebe situation happened, production definitely used that as, the steamroll into following, okay, when Ashley talking about the whole Osu shit. And so, Wendy and Nneka basically talk about it, and Andy admitted that he's like, yeah, us, we originally thought about pulling Nneka on through you. And so Nneka was like, I did say that. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I just really do think Nneka fell into the rookie trap, because she low-key, to me, she low-key kind of like, but I don't want to say gathered Wendy, but she bunched her up a little bit, because Wendy was like, she was like, I don't sit there and watch you like going around telling people I know you, because I don't. And she was like, girl, are you listening? She said, I sat there and said that I met you a few times. And so she went through talking about how when they met and things like that. And so Wendy hit with, oh, why are you being so upset? Why are you coming at me? And Wendy's like, girl, you've been lying on the stage this whole time. Like, I actually genuinely think, Nneka, you fell into the rookie trap. And every time you come on and get the rookies fall into the sided with, the GEBs, and it really would have been good to see them get over it. But I also do see, I'm sorry, y'all, to me, the reason that those two didn't move on is because Wendy did not want to move on with Nneka. Nneka did say, she copped to it. Like, she said she entered this wrong. You can tell when she did that sit down with Wendy that she knew she kind of entered in this too a little, full force. But Wendy is like, I think what Nneka was asking her to take accountability for was the fact that, girl, your mama, you know what your mama did, because you notice that Wendy ain't want to talk about it, or at least they cut it out. Like, Wendy, you knew your mama. I'm sorry. I feel like her mama did that. Y'all jumped on the comments. Y'all think Wendy mama went over there and gave Nneka Lebe over there an earful. So yeah, and because Wendy, I guess, didn't want to address that, it was just colliding. And so at this point, it's giving Wendy said, we can coexist, we good. And so Andy was like, oh, moving forward. And of course, me would ask, can y'all be friends? Will y'all ever be friends? Wendy said, no ho. But y'all do know that Nneka, she got the boot. She announced it, girl. RHOP, all the hoes announced that they was out. Candice announced, because I'm gonna do a separate video talking about it. Candice, she having a baby. Robin got fired, okay, apprentice style. And Nneka, she got, I'm gonna say fired, But yeah, that was it for Wendy and Nneka. We already knew what it was. Wendy and Nneka, that whole thing definitely was pushing our face to be a distraction from the fact that Giselle was not trying to talk to Candice. Speaking of, Candice and them, and then Giselle, speaking of Giselle, her dumb ass over there asking questions. Just how dumb was this question? When they sitting there talking about this whole Osu thing. Oh, speaking of, I forgot, y'all. Wendy had Ashley over there stuck. Because when Andy talked about it, she was like, he's like, what do you know the whole Osu thing? And Wendy was like, well, Ashley, since you brought it up, why don't you tell us, what does Osu mean? Ashley over there looking like, Well, I never said that I knew the meaning of Osu. Like, the silence was deafening. Well, I never said I knew the meaning of Osu. You know, I just said, you know, prior to meeting Nneka, that was something that, you know, was brought up. And now that I know that it's taboo. And Giselle over there, a dumbass, talking about, oh, is this supposed to be a bad thing? Or to Giselle, where have you been? Like, literally, where have you been? Oh, is this supposed to be bad? Like, this, Giselle just spaces out when it comes to people that she don't honestly care about. Like, for real, even when it comes to just speaking to emotions, everything, she's so self-absorbed. Like, where are you at? Like, or to Giselle. But yeah, Ashley, that's what Nneka also said. Like, you came for me all season with the heat and you wasn't coming for Ashley. And it's given, I think Wendy didn't go for Ashley because she's like, I know this messy bitch. Like, I already know her for her works. But I do also, like, Wendy, Ashley needed some of that heat. That's, yeah, Nneka, you deserve some, but also it should have been, you know, humble pie for a couple of folks from Wendy. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But let's go ahead and move on, you know, to the good bits, okay, y'all? All right, y'all, let's get ready. Hold on, all right, y'all, I'm back. I had to go grab something that I needed for this second half of the reunion, because this second half had everybody, when I tell you, had everybody up, had everybody all the way up, okay? So I needed this so I could ease my nerves, because I got some liquor over there. I'm gonna try, but I ain't want to do both. I got this blackberry crown. If y'all only knew how long it took me to find this blackberry crown down here in Texas, but I'm gonna switch up to that later. But for right now, I just need something to more ease my nerves. That's what I needed right now. That crown was gonna do the opposite. And we ain't need to turn up right now, y'all. So this second part, all right. Let's go ahead and knock Ashley ass out the way. Big headed ass. When the green punch back, sometimes the green hit back. Sometimes you hit it, that hit a little soft spot in the lung. Plus, I was getting ready, the Lord was like, you starting to talk shit. I'm sorry, Lord, but she deserved it, okay? Ashley deserved his work. Nobody really got Ashley's ass this season the way it really needed to, with her big-headed ass, Stewie Darby ass. Shout out to Erica De Niro. So, the Ashley package, y'all know her and Michael. She ain't divorcing that man. What happened with her is what usually happens. The rich old white man gets a young little hot thing, you know, whisk her off her feet, which is, of course, girl, you ain't got to work. Don't worry. Let me take care of your lifestyle. Baby, I got you. You quit work and then you realize, oh, like, I'm dependent on him for money. And just like that question said from the audience, you know, you might not have got with Michael for money, but you definitely staying. Ashley saw security. Ashley grew up with a mama that she had to live with under the bridge. So you think a man like Michael coming to tell her, girl, I got you, you know, come travel the world with me? Typically, any girl would get into that, but that's the trap. That's the trap. And a lot more women are understanding you cannot not have your shit together with these niggas, okay? Because in any way they can be a smoochive, caboosive, y'all know the word I'm trying to say, whether it be physically, emotionally, financially being one of them, that eliminates that with you not dependent on them for their money, okay? So yeah, but yeah, no, the Ashley situation, what was it? She said that now, you know, she's understanding she's in this toxic cycle with Michael, of course. It is the power play. He knows he's the man with the money. And Ashley knows for this moment, she, you know, got to deal with it. Which is why she said she was massaging them toes. Okay? Them old, probably golden raisin looking, crackled, paint crackling looking ass toes. Okay? And was his toes all you was massaging, Ashley? Because you might have started at the feet. You might have started at the feet. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Don't make me. I ain't crazy for thinking that. I know I ain't the only one thinking that, because girl, the situation you are in, you can't even date. When you get asked about, oh, you got a friend? No. No, you ain't dating nobody. That's why you said, oh, well, he wants to get married. He don't want to get married. He don't have kids, you know. Yeah, Ashley, at this moment, she's dependent on that man. And you sitting here telling lies about, oh, she filed a complaint and how much is she supposed to get now? She talked about, oh, you know, a sizable amount. Girl, if you were supposed to get a sizable amount, you would have already got that. That would have happened at the beginning. So the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. How you all of a sudden get a sizable amount now, but not then? And she's talking about, of course, for her sons. But yeah, a lot of times, dudes, you gotta pay for the fact that you're not there. A lot of times they think like, oh, it's just money to buy stuff. No, you're also paying for the fact that you're not there, my nigga. You're not there taking care of your kids, picking up all the extra mental, emotional energy that comes with kids. Because more than anything, that's what the most energy goes into your children, is like the mental, emotional part of it. And so since you ain't there to help carry that burden, you gotta pay. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Ashley and GnA, that's when we get into it with Keiarna, y'all. So after GnA, basically they talk about the show, like the fashion show, and at this point they did get asked about if they're making some money. I'm gonna take that as a no, a hell no to the no. I also think low key Giselle. This is my thought process, y'all, because I be thinking. I low key think that Giselle chose to start a business with Ashley because she knew she was gonna be able to get the funds. Although Ashley might be working on trying to get out from under Michael, as the question typically always stands is, but at the end of the day, he gonna be there for you because of the kids, right? That's a fallback on, girl. You got your titties on his credit card. The money is always there, essentially. So in my opinion, because Giselle obviously clearly is a bad human being, like Candice said, which I don't put nothing past you. I don't put nothing past you, okay? But that's just my opinion with the whole GnA thing. I think that that's gonna go to trash because, like Karen said, it looking like I'm going to the grocery store trying to catch me a man. Which, hey, some of y'all out there are, okay? So the lounge set is where I work at. But ain't nobody being ready to buy y'all shit because it's Giselle and Ashley. Y'all don't even come with the fashions on the show, for real. So, cut it out. But yeah, Keiarna. So we get into the fact that, you know, Keiarna, you know, at the fashion show had to, wop, okay? She had to wop, square up with Deborah, Sesame Street over there, okay? And, you know, that was a lot for her, obviously, that followed after, okay, you know, her being introduced to the crew. Is it just me, or did Keiarna's face look differently shaped? Am I tripping? Like, it just looked different than the show. Maybe it was because of the hairstyle she had. But also, Keiarna came with the looks for her first season. She definitely killed it. That confessional look. But yeah, Keiarna, she's cute, but something about her face looked different. I know I'm not tripping. But yeah, you know, for her, it obviously was a lot coming into the group, being new. And then the first time she came to take a trip with the girls, her stomach was on, you know, on tumble. Sometimes you get the BGs. Sometimes they get you out of nowhere, especially for a person that gets sick or whatever, maybe air, you know, nausea or whatever. Like, sometimes you got to go to the bathroom. But the fact that Giselle came in and checked on her, of course, Keiarna was happy about or appreciative of. And Candice was like, girl, that was a chess piece move. And, you know, it definitely, to me, basically this way, I won't put it past Giselle to do that. Did she care for Keiarna being sick? Absolutely, yes. But she also knew what comes with showing, oh, you know, let me check in on you. She knew at the back end of it that it was going to put out there that, girl, These heifers didn't even check up on you. Point blank period. Giselle's like, I resent that. Like, that is just so crazy because I really genuinely wanted to check to make sure she was okay. All right, bitch, but I don't trust you because clearly you can't even admit when you wrong about insinuating my husband was going to do like some weird essay type stuff. Like, oh, it went from he made me to, oh, he asked me to go. Bitch, I don't trust you. So yeah, Keiarna, and the fight situation. Keiarna was like, you know, it just initiated because she was being aggressive. She definitely came there looking for a fight. We all knew. Look how she came on last season. Like, she definitely is looking for some, you know, airtime, but she's going about it the wrong way. She, you know, came, but as much as she was trying to reach Candice, she was coming across like Keiarna's space. And so, you know, Candice over there mind her business, you know, get G with it, okay? And Deborah wants to come with the, oh, you know, you ain't got something to say now. Like, I'm in your face, what's up, basically. And you go to throw a drink and it hit me like Keiarna said, I'm gonna defend myself, bitch, it's on sight. So if Candice at that same time is watching somebody also not only throw a drink, but seemingly start like fighting with Keiarna, like coming this way, everybody knows in the midst of a fight, you just picking up which whatever. Also for the fact that Candice is small. She's like all but 5'3", 5'4", I'm sure at the most. And Deborah, she at least 5'7", 5'8". So, you know, when you small, it's whatever. Like, whatever I can grab next to me. Hell, with this comb, you know, like, you just, whatever's around you, right? And so, yeah, that began the conversation of, Gizelle, who you feel like started the fight? And Gizelle, of course, hit him with the, oh, I think it was everybody's fault. Deborah, Keiarna, Wendy, Candice. And me and was like, wait. Everyone was like, how Wendy get in this? And Mia was like, she wasn't even there. And Gizelle was like, oh, she wasn't? Okay, well, let's just take Wendy out of it. Like, you can't, the way you're passively moving by the accusations that you're making is the problem. Like, it shouldn't just be so flippant to you to accuse people of stuff and then be like, oh, not for real, or my bad, and then move on like that shit didn't happen, or that it didn't still have an impact on the person that you were shooting that, you know, blanket statement or accusation to. And so, yeah, okay, so Wendy's out of it, but like Candice said, it's still always my fault, which this began not Wendy, but Gizelle and Ashley, basically talking about the whole mouth situation. Oh, it's that mouth. And I think because they saw so many people react that way to the fight with her and Monique as a, you know, the good night, you know, the talking back shit, like, essentially, they're trying to apply that to this. But this wasn't a situation of a mutual combat. That's the difference. And so, yeah, was Candice talking in the situation and as people like to say, antagonizing with her mouth. But as y'all said last season, remember, Gizelle, mouth doesn't still constitute, you know, fighting and physicality. That's why y'all tried to boot School Boogie Monique on out of there, okay? Remember what y'all said to Monique last season. And see, the problem was Candice thought because they, you know, got Monique out of there, that meant that they were her friends. But no, you had to learn, unfortunately, the hard way that these bitches don't care for nobody, okay? And so that's why I think Candice also was hurt, because she felt like, oh, I got all the support in that situation, but now these hoes is flipping turning on me. Yeah, nonetheless, here it is, once again, Candice's fault. And so Ashley, you know, in the midst of the clip that they did with Candice, you know, them talking about like, girl, what did you call her? You called her like a vermin or whatever. Ashley's like, here it is, the second time, you know, maybe you just hit too low below the belt. And it's like, do you bitches not remember the stuff that y'all was saying all these past seasons? Karen, you call Robin a dizzy bitch. Like, are you for real? Do y'all not remember just that y'all done said? Giselle with the Uncle Ben type stuff. Oh, yo, husband wanted to sleep with my friend. All of these things. Like, this is so crazy. But the problem was, a lot of you people came up here in season 5. That's when we noticed what the problem was. A lot of you hosts came over here in season 5 and don't remember season 1 through, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, with Giselle, Ashley, Robin, that little trio right there. Especially, particularly Ashley, okay? She was trailblazing on these hoes. She couldn't keep her foot off of Robin's neck enough when it came to Juan. So, cut it out. If this video is getting dark, y'all, I apologize. This light's like one of those like chargeable lights, so it kind of gets dim. So I'm going to edit it like in the video to be lighter so y'all can see me. But yeah, so when it comes to them accusing Candice, it's like, once again, y'all are trying to justify and forget that what Candice did was a reaction. What Candice did was a reaction, okay? And for Deborah to try to come at her again after trying to not only last season say that your man wanted me, but he was like flirting with me also. Like, that bitch deserves no room from me. So no, like, I want to talk? No. And if you're still coming at me, then it's whatever. Somebody come get the help. Somebody come get, trying to be famous, okay? Because that's what she wanted. As Mia said, she saw her too because she tried to tell Candice, but you can't do that. No, yes I can. And I'm in every minute. Sesame Street built ass, okay? I'm in every minute of it. Like, the way Deborah came in and then, like, you coming for people's, like, livelihoods and, like, their name and stuff like that. And Giselle and Deborah definitely played a part in that whole Chris was flirting, sneaky link, he wanted to take me to my room shit, like, all fell in place. But yeah, Mia even said, like, well, she came to me as well, to my, I'm a four, and she was like, I just played it to the left. And so, Candice, you just have something to lose. Yeah, sure, okay. But point blank period, when sometimes some people only learn by getting that ass tapped, okay? And Deborah, at this moment, you gonna have to learn to stop fucking with me, okay? Point blank period. And the fact that they're trying to gaslight Candice into not, like, to accepting, like, oh, her words is what instigated it. Like Candice said, no matter what her reaction was going to be, whether it be, oh, I'm going to just walk away, not do nothing, versus pick up this bottle because this whole lunging at me, regardless, she was trying to start something, point blank period. And so for Giselle, for her, I think she has never gotten over the fact that Candice got her ass in this whole colorism situation. She's pissed off about it. And see, this is what having white producers. Let me get into the producers for a second, y'all. I'm sorry, this is kind of a longer review. If you're still here, I appreciate it. But nonetheless, this is where Andy and Bravo got the game fucked up, because when you're working with white people, when they start showing preferential treatment, which is what Giselle is getting, you have to start looking at, okay, where is this preferential treatment coming from, right? To Giselle and Robin, to them it's just preferential treatment. But then when you look at how it affects the other girls and the type of girls it seems to be affecting, which always seems to be dark-skinned women or brown-skinned women in comparison to the light green-eyed heifers, okay? Even though she light-skinned, Giselle, you need to understand, girl, you still over there looking like legs and hips and kneecaps. All nothing but legs, hips, and kneecaps, okay? That's all Giselle is, right? Stovepipe legs and hips and kneecaps, okay? But yeah, but obviously from the viewer standpoint, Bravo, we gotta point out, okay, y'all starting to give a little real colorism. Y'all don't understand. Obviously, you, as we know, the light skin treatment, and y'all try to like deny that this is something that plays a part. But Gizelle definitely, I think, felt like she went into this reunion already made up in her mind that she was going to get some type of acknowledgement from Candice, because like Gizelle said, oh, I was told they were going to talk to her. So this was a situation of also realizing that, you know, Candice was acting different this reunion. And I knew from the first reunion when she wasn't getting in Robin's ass and let her know about herself. You questioned me about my husband limp dick, but when you know your husband dick was over there in that hotel room, let's not do it, Robin. Right, when she didn't go in like that, I was like, it definitely looked like she's she's intentionally not going in. And I definitely knew that it was given, she got talked to behind the scenes. That's what Gizelle wanted. And Gizelle wasn't going to allow herself to offer any type of apology, because in her mind, she was already getting what was supposed to happen out of that situation with her with Candice, which was for her basically to wave the white flag. And that's why I think a lot of the questions kept going to Wendy and Candice. Like, oh, Candice, why were you calling her vermin? Like, oh, didn't you think that how this was going to react after that? Like, what clearly was happening was Bravo was needing Candice and Wendy as the dark-skinned woman of the show to basically draw the, you know, line of, okay, letting this thing go. And that's why they needed Candice to be the one to pull everything back and kind of like retract her actions as a way of showing like all this heat, you know, we gonna pull it back essentially. And y'all can't do that. Like, y'all really cannot do that, because at the end of the day, we're watching this woman wreak havoc on people's lives. Like, Candice and Chris, imagine what they dealt with after that whole situation. And you talking about he was touching on Deborah ass and all type of stuff. Like, that's not something you could just move past. Then with Robin and her and Juan not coughing up the truth. Y'all remember what happened with Kenya? So what's the difference? And as viewers, we're noticing there seems to be a difference when it comes to the shades of these women, and the difference on all of them is the same. So any logical person would deduct that something is up, right? And it is. So basically, yeah, at the end, you know, Gizelle, because of her privilege, you know, wanted to call out Candice. And Candice is like, I'm not doing it because I'm not expecting y'all to fight for me. And when she was like that, it was just like, it was heartbreaking, because that's the truth. Ashley, you had some shit. Oh, you called her vermin. Bitch, shut up. Okay? Over there with that helmet looking like a wasp nest ass wig. Okay? But Keiarna, you know, she left with thanking Karen, you know, for, you know, being there with her after the whole fight situation. Because she was embarrassed, like, damn, I let this hoe get to me. And yeah, you know, it just was a whole situation that was really only validating what we already knew about Gizelle and her, you know, whack ass ways. Point blank, period. And also now that knowing Candice is pregnant, we see why, you know, also she wasn't trying to do the mostest, because she was with child. Okay, so I'm not stressing myself out for you hoes. Okay, as she said, you want to make up with this? You want to make up with this? Like, not doing it. No, sir, not on duty, not on duty. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and end this review, y'all. See, I apologize. The review got a little long. You know, that's the one thing I got to be careful with me smoking on here because I'll go on and ramble for days. So I apologize. So those of you who stuck around for the long haul, I appreciate it. Okay, go ahead and drop that thumbs up button for me. But yeah, to cap it off, basically we get to the end of the review, and you know, Andy's asking them about moving forward and just ending on somewhat of a good note. And Andy was like, so, does anybody want to, ends with anything or, kind of take, the step of some type of, new energy? And when I tell you, everyone was just looking at each other like, just quiet, okay? Because bitch, I don't want to make up with none of you whores, okay? So with Robin and Candiace, of course, it was asked like, okay, do y'all have any bad blood? Robin's like, I'm good at this point, and Candiace is like, no bad energy for me. I'm more in the friendship, during the show, so it is what it is. That ball is really in Robin's court. Of course, when it came to Wendy and Nneka, I think Nneka definitely was willing to, fall on the sword first to move forward. Wendy just has it in her, feelings of like, I'm not effing with you, period. Should she could have, for the show's sake, I, as a viewer, would have loved to see that potentially work, because I think Nneka and Wendy are so much alike. That's why they clash. But I really think, Nneka, you just fell into that rookie trap of being used by producers and also, trying to, feel like you got to pick a side early, But yeah, it is what it is. Nneka got fired anyways. And then, of course, when it comes to Andy's like, I don't think I should even try with Giselle and Candice. And she was like, Giselle had the nerve to be like, well, she still has yet to acknowledge it. And Candice is like, bitch, like, what do you mean? Like, you're incapable of accountability. Like, at no point Giselle has truly said, I apologize for doing that or saying that, which is why the viewers is where we at right now. And the fact that Giselle is still carrying that energy very much at the end of the reunion, like, there's nothing left for Candice to do. Anyways, and second of all, it's just like, it's FU on sight, because Giselle really has tried it, okay, with everybody's couple and relationship. And we'll never forget, honestly, how the edits went. Conveniently, y'all didn't have none of the edits. Like, bravo, y'all really showed y'all's hand, with this season, for real. We already do kind of the favorite treatment, in previous seasons. There's definitely people started noticing a little bit more, but this season, it was just like blatant in our face as viewers. We couldn't deny what we were seeing. Y'all were horrible at covering up how much y'all want to, protect Giselle. But yeah, this end of the season, Mia, she gonna stay taking care of Gordy. Y'all know she gonna be back. Karen might be back because y'all know she was caught, swerving behind the wheel. Okay, she was on how many cocktails in, and she got that DUI. So that's, Karen's storyline. Now that Candice is gone, Robin, girl, you lost your job. A1 ain't got no job. Oh, Robin, Lord Jesus. If there was ever a reunion for your man to show up, this was it. And this man couldn't even show up for you, but he was so nice. I'm just a nice guy. I'm nice enough to go drive to a hotel to pay for a girl's room, as if we ain't in the day and age of you being able to pay over the phone anyway, especially for a hotel. Like, Robin, girl, your nigga cost you your job, and I really hate that for you. I really do, because I know Juan is hell on wheels behind all of this, which is why you was, crying on the corner, said like Monica, and I never meant to cause you no pain. Okay, sitting on the corner. Yeah, Robin, I feel bad for you. But yeah, Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all, tell me what you feel about this season. What do you expect, out of Potomac going forward? For me, next season, I ain't gonna lie, it's a no for me, dog. In regards to, Giselle, how y'all feel about Giselle? Did she ever truly apologize? Do you feel like that they are protecting Giselle? Yeah. And what do you feel like the expectations of next season is gonna be now that Candice is gone? But I appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all hoes later. Deuces.